impactful moment for me was on the very first night when only a few of us took a brief tour around the old city of Jerusalem, and we went to the Western Wall. It was that night, and you could see all the Jews performing their prayers, bowing up against the wall. And at that moment I felt our Lord really was here, and that was quite amazing for me, just to be completely certain that I was treading the same ground that Christ was.
The highlight of the pilgrimage to the Holy Land so far for me has really been seeing the variety of perspectives, particularly political. Before this I knew actually shockingly little about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, and so it's been really interesting getting a variety of viewpoints and perspectives.
It's my first time in the Holy Land, and I think that my favorite places are St. Catherine's Church in Bethlehem.
Well, I surprisingly found the Masada quite good, but I think it's a good way of showcasing sort of the amazing plethora of archaeology that is available here. I mean, you're really following along not just with Israeli or biblical history, you're following along with the history of mankind, from Jericho, which is the oldest city in the world, to, I mean, modern Israel and conflict between Israel and Palestine, which is also very interesting. So you are following the footsteps and the history and development of all mankind, which I find tremendously interesting.
being the place of the holy sites, the place of Christ, where Christ walked, has really been an eye-opening and fascinating experience.
One of my favourite things that we did was have a service of Holy Communion at the Sea of Galilee. It's quite strange how all of these sites that we visit have massive churches on them, and because of that look nothing like they did in Jesus' time. But just sitting in nature and worshipping together brought me very close to what it must have been like for Jesus and his disciples to travel these lands. We met multiple Arab Christians, often those who were Greek Orthodox. Getting their perspective of what it's like to be a Christian in this country, I found to be very, very enriching.
I think something that I really appreciated was how Claire and William organised it in a way that it took us through the gospel story step by step. Both William and Claire related it to the Old Testament as well. I think that was key that that relationship was made.
We are here at St. Peter's in Galilee. It's a very beautiful view and it has been very inspiring during our pilgrimage.
Another powerful moment for me was in Mary Magdalene Church, kissing the tomb of a saint whose silhouette you could see underneath a veil. That was very powerful.
I also was struck by our visit to Yad Vashem, which brought a lot of deep feelings for me.
The most moving experience was at Yad Vashem. It was just interesting to see all the different stories.
One of my favorite parts of the trip was getting to take in and listen to the vast amount of knowledge that Claire has about the Holy Land, Jerusalem, theology, the Bible, and getting to see all these holy places and learning the theology and the biblical stories behind them. One of my favorite things that we got to see in the old city of Jerusalem was the reproduction of the mosaic map of Jerusalem that Claire expertly led us to that I wouldn't have known about otherwise.
I didn't really know anyone else in the group beforehand, but it was wonderful to sort of have this shared experience and grow so much closer to people that I barely knew a week ago.
Because he just started preaching the gospel to us in a very amazing way, and he was so funny as well.